Hi, everybody. Today I'd like to start out by asking you a couple of questions. Now, you need to pick one answer or the other. You can't be in between. Would you rather have chocolate or vanilla ice cream? Would you rather go to a baseball game or a football game? Would you rather go to the ocean or to the mountains? Now, I really like to go to the ocean, but I found that I'm much more of a mountain person. So I put on my t-shirt today from the Grand Teton National Park. That's in Wyoming and a little bit in Idaho. I was there when I took a trip to Yellowstone one year and went south into the Grand Tetons. Now, a mountain is classified as a mountain when it's how high above the surrounding area. Here are your choices: 800 feet, 1,000 feet, 1,500 feet, or 2,000 feet. Well, the answer is 1,000 feet. Another mountain question. What is the only high elevation mountain that does not require special equipment or special training to climb it? Now, we know that Mount Everest would need all of those things, so that's not going to be on my list. The ones I have are Mount McKinley, Mount Sinai, Mount Kilimanjaro, or Mount Fuji. Well, the answer is you can climb Mount Kilimanjaro without any kind of special equipment. I actually have a friend who did this. Back in January, I had a retreat with the women here at church, and I'd asked them some of those trivia questions. But we were talking about kind of mountaintop experiences. Those are experiences where we feel especially close to God. And we talked about places where Jesus went to have his mountaintop experiences, and they were literally on mountaintops. In Matthew 14 and Mark 6, we see basically the same story, but it's when Jesus sends his disciples out in a boat, sends them ahead of him, and he goes up onto a mountain to pray. We hear in Luke 6 about Jesus spending a night on the mountain in prayer. So those mountains were places where Jesus felt closer to God. He was able to get away from everything and spend that personal time. Of course, we remember the Mount of Olives. Now, the Mount of Olives is where the Garden of Gethsemane was located. And that's where Jesus went to pray with some of his disciples on the night before his crucifixion. So where are some mountaintop experiences you may have had? I know I've had them on retreats at Camp Nawaqua, on mission trips, at concerts sometimes. Many of the trips I've had to mountains, like the Grand Tetons or Rocky Mountain National Park. So I have one more trivia question for you. Which book of the Bible contains the Sermon on the Mount? This is the part of the Jesus story where he talks about those blessings. Blessed are the poor and blessed are the meek, all those things. So I'm not going to give you the answer to that one. I want you to try to look that one up. But in the meantime, find those places where you feel closest to God. Spend some time there. Spend some time in prayer, just as Jesus did on those mountains.